What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets with my co-host JohnnyKpicks. And we got two special guests in the house tonight for this special UFC Vegas 69 card. We got my man Manny with MMA Fight Club. How you doing today, Manny?
What's up, fellas?
And we got my boy Dr. Ansdew Sarowitz. He's got a couple different things. You don't have a YouTube yet, right?
I don't have a YouTube, no. Just a few different brands on the Insta thing. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It's just Dr. Sarowitz on Instagram. And I was telling you guys, I make a lot of the mouth guards for the fighters. I'm a dentist here in New York, and my mouth guard company at Impact Dental Designs. I got an apparel company too at Face Meet Fist. I'm gonna show you some of that later, though. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on. I follow him everywhere on Instagram. That's how we got together and started talking. We've been talking fights, different betting stuff, because he knows a lot about the fighters. He knows a lot of the fighters. He knows a lot about the gambling side of it, everything. I'm glad that we got together. Manny from MMA Fight Club too. Where's all your stuff at, bro?
You could find me on the popular socials, the Insta face, the Facegram, all that stuff out there. MMA Fight Club.
The Toctic.
If you're a cast spotter, all that stuff, it's out there. But if you just search MMA Fight Club, I don't know shit about mixed martial arts, but when I heard UFC 69, I said, I'm in 69. I know about that. And so I think I can give some kind of feedback. So I'm here for you guys.
Heck yeah. Yeah, man, it's awesome. Definitely. Johnny, tell them where you're at.
Oh, I'm on the YouTubes, the Instagrams, the Twitters. That's about it. You know where I'm at. JohnnyKpicks right there.
Yep. Yeah, man, it's awesome. We have both Manny and Andrew are both from New York City. So you can tell they got a little bit of the accent going. I like
East
it.
Coast.
I like it. East Coast. But yeah, man, they both know a lot of people in the UFC game, in the MMA game. Manny, you've done interviews with everybody lately.
I should have told Doc. We talked pre-show, but I've had a chance to. You know what it is? It's the New Yorker in me, having been born in Brooklyn and worked in the city for years, and I grew up on movies like The Boiler Room and Selling, and you're just
sure.
That kind of stuff. And from New York City, it's a rat race. You're moving quickly and you're trying to sell things quickly. And ultimately, I got into this as a side project, but I found myself talking to more and more people in the industry. And now I've been able to sort of build a web of different connections through the business of mixed martial arts. And now I do a lot of interviews with fighters, which gives me more access, kind of like you, but in a different way. And so I get a chance to talk to a lot of fighters. And so I do interviews, pretty common. We have them. Sometimes they come through live. Sometimes it's more of a one-on-one interview. But pretty cool. I get to know these fighters, pretty well from a different standpoint, because you're more on the business side, which you could talk more about. But that's, something that I've been doing on the side as part of my unique project.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd agree. Like the first thing you kind of notice dealing with the guys is like, I would say almost 100% across the board. Everybody is cool. Everybody is down to earth. Everybody is down to kind of collab and help you out. And that was like the most shocking thing to me when I was getting started too. It's like, once you get to know some of these guys, it's like, hey, can you help me out with this? It's like, no problem. Whatever you need. It's like, we got you. And there's this sort of like synergy that I don't think you'll find in other sports. Yeah.
This MMA community is awesome because it's not a big community, but the people in it, 95% of them are super awesome people, man. And we're all trying to beat the bookies together,
Yep.
And instead of everybody,
the main goal,
right? Because instead of everybody being like, I'm smarter than you or this or that, it's like, let's just be all together smarter than them.
My boy James Krause took it real personal. He said, I'm going to beat those bookies. All right.
Yeah, he did. Beating some, helping other ones, man. Terrible, man. But yeah, man, he's not even a bad guy compared to these judges, though, to be honest,
Tell me about it.
They're worse than James.
Feeling right from your mouth, like bam.
Yeah, man. And they're just in on it. Like they'll fly across the world every week to do it. The one dude was out in Carthage. I think it was that dude that was in Abu Dhabi and gave it to Sean O'Malley over Jan. And then he flew out the next week, and I forget who he robbed. And then the other dude was at a show on the East Coast in like Connecticut, and then on Friday night for a PFL or something, and they flew him out to Vegas on the Saturday. He had two it was what was the one wrestler? I think it was the Rufian Stotts fight, and then that judge.
Are you talking about the Bellator guy, right? He did Bellator and then flew over. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
This
ruined both cards.
Yeah, this dude went over there and dropped some nutty ass decision that fucked somebody over in Bellator, and then like less than 24 hours later went over to Vegas and did the same thing to somebody else.
Yeah, and they're like, it's like, why would you fly this dude across the like? You didn't have nobody else that you could have had there. Right there, that's pure
they've changed. Dude. They haven't changed the rules, but they've now had to reinforce certain rules about it's sort of like a truck driver. They can only drive for a certain amount of time.
Right, because you're tired. You'd figure, I mean, you're not on top of your game. So
he had been judging, it was late, then he's flying a red eye, and then judging again late in Las Vegas. And he screwed both of them.
You would almost think like they can't go back to back events like on the next day, or they have to take a day off or something like that.
How many judges
something so small like that?
I was gonna say, are there that
seems like they have like
judges,
10.
They gotta recycle them.
Yeah, like
it seems like they only got like the same 10 judges, and they just recycle them throughout every sport, like
from
promotion.
Boxing and everything too.
Yeah,
they got the Adelaide
crazy.
Bird, dude. Like they're mostly boxing. It is just crazy. Real quick before we go into the comments and into the fights, Dr. Sarowitz, how many people do you know on this card? Because it's a New York card, and you're a New York doctor. I know you know a lot of these guys.
Yeah, definitely a lot. I'd say like probably 4 or 5 of them. Probably 4 or 5 people on this card I know they're fairly well or interacted with in some way. Yeah, it's definitely a small world. I think my record though, I mean, you're on the right track. My record was that MSG card back in November. I think I was like 8 or 9, maybe. It was a lot. And
that's awesome.
Where I had two pals kind of going against each other. That's always interesting.
Yeah,
you're just like, I don't know who to pick.
Well, I'll tell you like a real quick story, like real fast before we get into it. Like
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, I'll do the short version. But I was gonna say,
no, with the long version. Long version, please. Long version.
I'll do the extra medium version. Having like these, somewhat personal relationships, it completely changed the game for me. It's kind of like having skin in the game. Like if you had a friend out there, a family member, because I remember like back in the day, I got really into UFC in college, which would have been like, 04, 05. And it's like Gladiator. It's like you want to see blood, you want to see people get hurt, you want to see this, you want to see that. The first time I traveled, every once in a while I'll travel with the fighters and go to an event. And one of the first ones I did, I went to be with Michael Johnson when he fought Josh Emmett in Philly. And
man,
I was sitting ringside first row.
He's winning that whole fight too.
Winning the whole fight. It was the most surreal moment because obviously the knockout happens and under different circumstances, that is amazing. That's like a highlight real amazing thing you would love to see. And, my man up here about those Philly fans are brutal. Like the place is erupting and everyone's going crazy. And I'm just sitting there and we're like, what just happened? Like it ruined I don't want to say ruined my night. It ruined my life for like a few days. And it's like, how do you come back from that? And like, I found out afterwards, like I talked to Mike like a day or two later and he was like, no, I'm cool. Like, happens as part of the game.
What happens?
Like, damn, maybe I'm not like cut out for this, And he's just really freaking cool in general. And he's had some setbacks too. And I'm so glad to see
coming back strong, man.
Really coming back. And people don't know about, behind the scenes, all the surgeries. He had that fight with Moises, that quick little knee bar, boom, out with a knee surgery. Like, what?
Oh, it tore up his knee bad.
It's so high stakes. And I know he had that neck surgery too, the same one Aljo had. And both of those guys came back like crazy from that. So that, I can't even imagine like going through that kind of rehab on a friggin' spine surgery and then looking like that. But
and come back to fight.
Yeah. So that was the long version. It's like when you actually kind of know that these are like humans and not just there for your entertainment. It's like
it's a whole different ball game.
Changes it. Yeah, the highs are higher, but the lows are so freaking low, man.
Yeah. I guarantee it. Yeah, man. I guess it'd be like if you had one of your friends getting in a fight, you know, back in high school or something like that, and they get beat. Like, damn, man, that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to jump in there, right? Like you want to do something about it, but like,
and then plus you feel bad. You'd feel bad if they get beat up. I've been with friends that got beat up, man. You have to leave with them, like, man, but you get them next time. But as long as you fought, that's what counts.
Yep.
Yeah. And the good thing is they are way better equipped at handling that kind of stuff, you know. Like so they're fine. Don't worry about it.
Especially a professional like Michael Johnson. He's the only one can be said before Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman said he's the only one that ever dropped him, put him out unconscious in training.
Can I give a shorter story about caring about the athletes that are fighting? So Alejandro Lara fought the other day. He said, you know, here's the thing. I'm a fan of hers, just, you know, visually, optically, and then also, you know, but I communicated with her recently. We did an interview, and then she fought, and then she lost. And it's like, I want to tell her, just stop fighting. You're too pretty for this. You're better off just going to something else. But you're right. When you talk to them as people and you have real life conversations with them, you root for them in a whole different way. It's the money has nothing to do with it. It's strictly like, I want to be able to, you want to be able to communicate with them next week, next day, 48 hours, and just have that message of congratulations. I'm happy for you. I feel part of your happiness, and I happen to know you. And you know, that's
especially
what
it's like. That too, split between loss like that. It really is. Let's say what's up to everybody in the chat. Saba with MMA Prospect. What's up, bro? Saba's our boy. He's always here every day, every weekend. He's always
Saba
in my Discord helping out. What's up, gentlemen? It was cool to see that Johnny K met the undisputed lightweight champ Islam Makhachev in Discord.
That was a funny ass picture, dude. Funny ass picture.
I sent it to everybody. I sent it to Manny. I sent it to Patrick, and I showed my girlfriend.
Did Andrew see it? Did Doc see it?
I don't know. I'll have to send it to you. Our boy Saba.
That's so funny though.
You seen the picture where Islam's with Hezbollah, and then they had put in Volkanovski's face on it, and he's like little Hezbollah. Yeah. Saba did it and put Johnny's face on Hezbollah.
There we go.
Johnny
it looks real though.
Dude, it looks great. Johnny did Bilal Muhammad last night though at the LFA.
Yeah, I saw Bilal last night at the LFA event.
Oh, nice.
He was cornering I forgot his name, but I remember his nickname is give me your lunch money or something like that. It was funny. But he ended up winning, and then he was getting
you took a selfie with him too, right, dude?
I did, yeah.
That was pretty dope.
Super cool.
It was fun. Yeah, he's super cool guy.
Yep. Eric, my boy.
I'm still
Eric.
salty he beat my boy Lyman Good a while back. I'm still salty about
back
that.
In the day.
It was a good fight.
Lyman's a beast too. He's a big boy, man.
You seen him? He's in like so many Netflix shows now. He's doing the acting thing, man. I'm so happy for him. Yeah,
he should. He looks like he's a different looking dude, and he looks like a bad mofo. You know, he's got the freaking. He just looks like a beast.
You got to check out his Instagram. He's got this like new like Viking hairstyle thing for some shoot he was doing. It's crazy, but sometimes I'll randomly see him as like an extra or something in like a Netflix show, and I'm like, oh, that's what he's up to. Cool, good for him.
Oh yeah, he had a tough run in the UFC. I think he fought Damian Maia, Bilal Muhammad. Okay, all of his fights were like people that were becoming bad mofos. Eric, though, man, appreciate you coming out, hanging out, man. Always in my Discord too, hanging out. I appreciate you. Jumbo Loco. He said, hey guys, it's been a bad day at work, so I'm hoping tonight will cheer things up. They're definitely gonna, man. Tonight we're gonna beat these bookies down. That always makes everybody feel good. Yeah, Saba said that's pretty cool, Mr. Sarowitz. Saba's our dude. He's from Belgium. He's from Belgium. He's like 21 now, 20, and super smart kid. He's cool, nice kid. Duncan, what's up? He said I like Myro Bono Silva by sub and Aaron Blanchfield by sub. We're on points. Okay. Not bad picks. Saba, you can find Johnny on OnlyFans.
I forgot to promote that. It's Only Hands actually.
Hey, we used to have all the whatever them site things that used to pop up for the XX.
I know. It costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money. That's why I don't do it anymore.
To generate them or something. I was gonna say, you see them. We must have fell off. Jenna Marie, what is up, Jenna? So what's up, fellas? Good luck today. Good luck to you too, Jenna. Appreciate you coming out. Everybody check her out on Twitter. She's a big part of the community, and we appreciate you hanging out every time. Too early for Aaron. I feel like she's good to scrap. Dev the dude, MMA Jesus
Yo,
316.
this
What
dude's he's a pimp. He's a
he's
pimp.
in every sense of the word, man. Appreciate you coming out, Dev. He said I got 6 dogs, and that seems right.
That's Dev. Love it.
Hitting big money on him.
All finishes, I bet too. Love it.
Yeah. Everybody check out Dev, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, man. Puts out great information all the time with Sal the Red. Got some good videos. So check him out.
Really well done.
Stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Pink Floyd, it's a dog eat dog card. Definitely. It's a tough card, man. Appreciate you coming out, Pink Floyd. Professor Chaos said, "What's up? What's up, man?"
Goldstein.
Yeah, this dude's hilarious. Dan Goldstein, what's up? Great lineup guests. Panel looking like the annual general meeting for the Oath Keepers executive. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Mr. Goldstein. Appreciate you coming out as always. Jenna's on lots of dogs too. VTech, what's up, guys? What's up, VTech? Appreciate you coming out. Saba said, "What do you mean edit? That's a real life."
Not that short, man.
Saba always gets on Johnny when he
That's
gets on me
shit.
about. He gets on me. He remembers every bad bet I've made since 1993. But other than that, but he does.
I don't even think he was born there.
He holds you to.
remembers
He holds
it.
you.
He went
He holds
back
you
and looked.
accountable. He holds you
Yes,
accountable.
he does. But he gets on Johnny about everything. So I like that. I like his
love it.
style with
It's all good.
that. Hey,
the
Bo, I
banter.
thought we were friends is the name. He said, I recall seeing a JohnnyKpicks on the other side of P.
Dang. If I'm
Jeez.
on there, I don't even know.
We're all over the web, man. Jeez, man.
Okay.
As long as,
Hey,
as,
I
long as
get
you're
those
getting paid.
followers, I guess, man, or subscribers.
Gotta do what you gotta do out here, dude. That COVID was a weird time in Johnny's life, man. Everything
Oh
shut
no.
down.
Oh, no.
That weird out
Jesus.
here.
Got the hands.
Started
going.
everything up here.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna get into this card, everybody. We're gonna have a great time. As you guys always know, my fight card's out of order. But the first fight we have is in the men's lightweight division. I have Jim Miller versus Alexander Hernandez, and I'm gonna let Manny start this one off. What you got for this one, Manny?
You said who?
Jim Miller and Alexander, the not so great Hernandez.
Okay, so I'll give you the short and sweet of it is Hernandez is got the advantages being younger in the first round, will be more athletic early on, but Jim is he's the ageless wonder. He finds a way to win fights he shouldn't win. I locked him in at plus 200. I thought right off the bat, here's a guy who winning streak, he's somehow gotten better at striking in his old age, like starting to knock people out.
Right.
Has better, way better cardio. Like just, he had the Lyme disease thing, but he's a bit of a mutant, So I feel like if you're going to play somebody on plus money, he's the guy. I can't tell you for sure offhand. I didn't look it up, but I'd imagine the last 3 or 4 fights, he's been a dog in some of them, and he won.
Yep.
Hernandez comes in a little late notice, not super late, but a little late notice. And so, yeah, my play is, I believe round 3 off the top of my head, round 3 finish by the old man Miller. That's my play. And that's plus 2,000 or some shit like that. Yeah, that's my play. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Johnny, what do you got?
Yeah, I love Miller in this spot, and I know Hernandez he's pretty good. He's not the best, but he's pretty good. But only in the first round. That's it. Like he's got that 1 round cardio. He's very explosive. He's got the power to knock you out. But man, he gasses so quick.
Time out. You sound like my wife giving a play-by-play of me. Time out. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You lost my train of thought now, man.
2 minutes.
I got distracted.
Strong 2 minutes.
Okay, strong 2 minutes from Manny. He's got
Manny the great.
Yeah. Again, I like Miller here. I think he survives at least the first round here, and he gets that finish in the second or third round. I locked him in at plus 190, I believe. And then I also have an under 2.5 rounds in this fight in a parlay, just in case if Hernandez does find the chin early. But Jim Miller can find the chin in the first round too, or get a guillotine. Like he's savvy enough still. He's durable enough. He has the cardio still, and he's got good wrestling. So if Hernandez comes in all crazy, he's going to shoot for a takedown real quick, and it can go down there or go up against the cage and wear him out even quicker. So, I mean, everything I like about this fight is on Miller's side. So I think this is a great underdog to do.
I like it. I like it. Andrew, what do you got?
So I'm kind of a similar mindset, but I'm looking at it from both of their sides. So looking at Alex first, I got to shout out my pal Billy Quarantillo for just ruining him a few weeks ago. So you got to wonder, is he coming back too soon? And again, it's like pretty short notice. What was it? Two weeks he got the call to come in. So you got to figure he's not going to be 100%. So in my mind, it's like, is this guy really going to go in there and keep making the same mistakes, or is he actually going to slow down, try to pace himself, and use maybe like a slightly higher fight IQ? Because I mean, if you remember the hype on him back when he was coming up, everybody was big on this guy until Cerrone just completely derailed. Like it felt like his whole career. So it's like he's a guy that's always been frustrating to watch because he's so good, but only in a really small sample size. So my gut says that's not really going to change. I don't think he can get away from that style. I think he's going to try to. I don't think he's going to come out crazy, but I think once he gets frustrated, he's going to go back to the same habit, try to go a little crazy. And on the Jim Miller side, so durable, such a veteran. I got to tell you another funny story real quick too. Like, so my buddy, shout somebody else out, Nick Mata. So Nick Mata was trying to get to fight with Jim Miller for ages, chomping at the bit to fight him. And he finally does. And it's super competitive. And what happens? He gets TKO'd. So I was chatting with him like not that long after, maybe like a couple days later, and he was so freaking salty. He was like, "This Jim Miller." He's like, "He is such a veteran. He took the whole first round, figured out my style, and then boom, right in the second round, he was able to finish me." So I think like I'm also feeling like a late finish from Miller. I have a slightly different prediction though, and I think it's going to look similar to that Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson. I think Hernandez is going to be so out of it, he's going to turn into a wrestler, and we're going to see like an old school Jim Miller guillotine, maybe second round. That's what I'm feeling. I like that. I like Miller by sub.
He's got a sneaky guillotine too. It's like he wraps it up and he doesn't let go.
He really does.
Yeah,
especially if you're tired.
And I'm thinking like path of least resistance for him too. Like he's not going to go in there and trade like a maniac. He's more tactical than that. So if he sees Hernandez like overextending, I think he's going to put his hands on him and choke him out. That's just what I think.
Oh, I love it.
Like it.
Man, that's crazy, dude, because the dude's plus 190, plus 200, and all four of us are on him. And a lot of people that I've heard talking are on him because, like, he should be. They're giving it. This is the price that it's at is Alexander Hernandez won, the fight after knocking out Beneil Dariush, and then Jim Miller's on his losing streak. Like, that's what the line should be. But Alexander Hernandez ain't that guy anymore. Jim Miller's been finished. I know everybody says he ain't got no durability, but he's been finished 2 times in the last 7 years, dude. And that was by Hooker.
mean, listen, 51 fucking fights. He's been finished 4 times.
4 times. I think only knocked out twice. Yeah. So like only two in the last 7 years, and that's against Oliveira and Hooker. Oliveira choked him out. Hooker kneed him out. That's gonna happen. They're putting out.
And don't forget, he subbed Oliveira before that, right? Did he?
Yeah. With a knee bar, I believe.
Crazy.
I mean,
crazy.
If you're hearing this and you like Hernandez, all I will tell you is you should be betting Hernandez into the distance, because Hernandez by decision is almost an impossible scenario. That's almost impossible to imagine. Yep. So he would have to win inside the distance. That's going to have to win the fight,
Yep.
And probably first round, like you said, Johnny.
Yeah.
First round knockout.
Because like Hernandez is definitely the stronger, more explosive guy. So Jim Miller's going to have to be on his P's and Q's in that first round, because he could easily get nuked here quick if like I said, he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. So hopefully he doesn't get nuked. I honestly hope Hernandez comes out and tries to wrestle. You know what I mean? Because he's going to have the better wrestling. He can get him down, but that'll slow him down even more. So like Andrew was saying, a good point. Like if Hernandez gets tired, gets hit, gets a little wobbled, takes that sloppy shot, it's game over. So I don't like betting these first round knockout guys like Terrence McKinney and that stuff anymore, especially going against well-rounded fighters that can go wherever the fight goes. So we're all on Jim Miller, man. And at plus 200, dude, I put basically half a bet where I've usually bet 3.2 units, 320. I bet 160 to win 300. And I feel like that's super live for a plus 190 guy. I mean, that's about as good as you get.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's see here. I know Saba had a question.
Maxi Peace and Saba.
Here we go. Sabas, a question for Dr. Sarowitz. What's your opinion on Jake Matthews?
Ooh, shifting gears.
Yeah, that's out of left field.
Yeah, that remind me, when was
When he got beat by what's his
Semmelsberger?
by Semmelsberger.
Yeah, Sebi the Giant. Well, it's interesting because I have a note on this one too, and maybe we could talk about it when we talk about AJ Fletcher a little bit. For me, it's like, was Jake Matthews exposed, or are we just finally figuring out how good Sebi the Jedi is? Right,
Right.
Like,
Right.
because I have that same note on like AJ Fletcher too. Like, and I don't know, where's that one on your list? Is that one coming up soon to talk about? Because it could be like a good segue right now.
It's the next fight, or no, 2 fights away.
It should be the next fight. It's the second fight in the card, but we're not.
I mean, we can go to it. Actually, yeah, we will just go to it. Let me go through this.
Let's go right there.
Dan
right there, Doc.
Yeah, only because I think it's super relevant too. Like when you look at a guy like AJ Fletcher, who like on paper is a freaking animal, right? He's only lost to tough guys. Sebi the Jedi, who we just saw, is on another level. And I think the other one was Anglusa, who is another Kill Cliff guy down in Sanford with Kamaru Usman and all these guys. So it's like, can you really fault him for losing to these two guys? So I don't know if it's really a knock on Jake Matthews, but because if you disregard those knockdowns, he was winning that fight. And even going into the third round, I think he had a real good chance to win the fight too. It's just Sebi was just catching him. It was the weirdest thing I ever seen. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Matthews was winning. I was watching it with like a friend of mine, and we're like literally like keeping score. It's like Matthews was winning like, I don't know, 85% of each round, and then boop, just dropping and losing and end up losing the decision. So he'll bounce back for sure. It's just like some guys need to feel that adversity. Yeah. Exactly.
He should have wrestled though. But
I don't know why he didn't either.
Nope. Well, here, you can start this fight with an AJ Fletcher versus Themba Gorimbo. I'll let you start this one, Andrew.
Oh, no, I said, yeah, like I'll say this, like I like AJ Fletcher. Like he had a good performance on Contenders, right? But then he drops his first 2 fights, and can you really fault him for that? I think he's got a real serious gas tank issue. And I'll say the same thing about Hernandez. It's like at a certain point, do these guys like learn their lesson and try to pace themselves a little bit more? Or do they keep sticking with this same sort of game plan? And I'll give you an example of somebody who actually made the change and is just crushing it. Andrade Petrosky, same exact thing, right? Super heavy grappler, looks amazing for about, 4 minutes. And then he would kind of like drop off. But ever since The Ultimate Fighter, he's like on another level with his cardio, and he's able to push 3 hard rounds now. So it's like these guys have to adapt. So I actually think this is a good bounce back fight for AJ. I think he's just got real unlucky draws with who his first 2 opponents are, because they were really tough guys. So they really put him in the deep end there. And real quick on his opponent too, right? So there is like a little bit of a wild card factor. I think he's got like a 9-inch reach or 6 inch or 9 inch. He's got
9.4.
Yeah, he's got a weird sort of body style too. He's got a lot of submissions as well. So this is another guy, if he starts taking lazy shots and gets tired, man, I could see him getting submitted himself too, and almost the exact same game plan. Like I think he's really dangerous in that first half of a round, 2/3 of a round. But as the fight goes later, I wouldn't be shocked if we see the upset, especially by a submission. And I always get extra. I give a little extra juice to these guys who are like representing an entire nation. So I think he's the second fighter in UFC from Zimbabwe, looking for the first win for the country. I think the line is significantly too far apart here. Like I think this is a dangerous fight for AJ Fletcher. I could see him running through him in a round, sure, but if he doesn't, you're going to see that live odd do one of these, I have a feeling. So that was my breakdown without actually picking, if you caught that, because I don't think I have the actual.
Can I have the baton after Doc?
Yes,
Go
sir.
for it. I'm gonna toss it. Oh, you're up on this
Pass
side.
it
Here we
to
go.
him.
Bam.
There we go.
Interception.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it for just a short little addition to that. So if you're gambling on anything, the returns come in plus money. And if you're betting guys like AJ consistently, you're probably not going to make off in the long term very well. You're paying for it. The price tag is correct. He's minus 200 range. It's a correct price tag, okay? But Themba, Doc mentioned it, the reach, right? Okay. Some people think reach, like in terms of boxing, he's going to be the longer reach. No, Themba sucks in the feet. His boxing is like
terrible,
loopy. But how about this? How about how reach can be an advantage on the ground when it comes to submitting people? Because you have thinner forearms, they become more easier to slip under somebody's chin. You become a little bit like a Nate Diaz, right? Where it's like he's not a bulky guy. He's thin and long, and all of a sudden triangles and arms and a tired AJ Fletcher thinking he can get into a guard situation gets submitted. So my play is Themba by decision, because last week I learned I should have played that damn kid against Tukakov, whatever. I played him by submission. He won by effing decision. I should have played that. So I'm playing Gorimbo by decision and by submission, and I'm okay with it. If I lose $50, $20, $30, $100 betting on him, I'll live with it. AJ Fletcher probably wins the fight. He's stronger. He's got more experience. He's fought great competition. 2 good fighters, both first fights. But red flags is all I need for some kid from Zimbabwe with a long ass reach to come in here and pull off the upset. So go ahead.
Johnny, what you got?
Yeah. My pick is Fletcher. I'm not very confident though. I know a lot of people are. Even when the lines did come out, I think he was like minus 200, minus 225. Now he's at minus 300. I think that line's a little wide. Even though I think Gorimbo isn't that great either, but that reach kind of scares me. And as Andrew said, Fletcher's gas tank, he slows down as the fight goes on. He's very explosive early, and then he kind of just slowly tails off, and especially by the third round. So if Gorimbo can take this fight in the deeper waters in the third round, like anything can happen here. So for me, it's like, am I going to bet Fletcher to get the inside the distance within the first 2 rounds? I don't like that. So I just don't want to lay the minus money here on Fletcher. I'm not super confident. I think he wins on paper. It looks like he wins as well, but I don't know. My gut is like, this is going to be a little bit closer fight. I think it could be a little greasy as the fight goes on. So pick is Fletcher. I got no bets on this fight, but I'm just going to go with AJ here. I think he's just more explosive. So.
Yeah, Themba Gorimbo's not good. He's not a good fighter.
Yeah, he's not.
Like he's not.
But
I watched his fights. I'm just taking over. I watched his fights. I don't know where he's good at. His striking's awkward, like you said, and it's just kind of like weird. And he is tall and long, but I don't think this is a guy that's been a lifelong mixed martial artist by any means either. I see him get out grappled by people. He can out grapple real low level guys, but like other than that, I've seen him flop on his back. Like he's got decent jiu-jitsu because he's long, but like AJ Fletcher is good, man. It's like you guys said, he came in and fought Semmelsberg, and I believe he was short notice for that too. And did good, slowed down. Actually, he was so close to being able to win that fight because he won the first round clearly against Semmelsberger, came out in the second round, landed the takedown, was winning all the way, because I just rewatched it, was winning all the way down to 2 minutes left in the second round, and then he got reversed. And then Semmelsberger stayed on top, did a little bit more damage, and that's what won him the round. Semmelsberger, like we said, is a beast. Angelos, that's the thing, dude. He went back and forth with Angelosa, almost finished him. Angelosa, he's as durable as they come, and he is probably 3 times better than Themba Gorimbo. You know what I mean? Like, Angelos is way better, way more well-rounded, way stronger. And I think the AJ Fletcher is going to be able to hurt Themba on the feet and get a club and stuff, man, because he was close to subbing Semmelsberger a couple times, man. If Semmelsberger is a dog too, but he had him in some tight guillotines, and I think he's going to get Themba out of here. I don't even think Themba, I don't know why he's in the UFC, to be honest. He just lost like 2 fights ago to a pretty decent Brazilian dude, but still, like, it's not like he's on some 5-fight win streak with a win over some UFC vet or something, man. And I think this is a get right for AJ Fletcher. And I think he dominates him anywhere this fight goes. And if he survived if he survived with Semmelsberger gassed out in the third round, he survived with Angelos, I can't see Themba Gorimbo finishing him at all because he's super tough. That's what kept me away from the unders because I really feel like AJ is the only finishing side here because he's so tough. AJ's so tough, and Themba ain't good at his striking. If Lusa and them ain't knocking him out, and Semmelsberger, then Themba ain't. And then, like I said, them guys couldn't sub him, do nothing. Themba ain't. So give me AJ Fletcher. I'm super confident. I have him in a parlay with a fight coming up. So we got what I was on. So we had me on Fletcher, Johnny on Fletcher. You guys were both on Themba, right? Or,
yeah. What was the name
or
of
no,
that?
you didn't. Andrew didn't give a
pick
pick.
without picking.
Yeah.
Like my gut says that I could see Fletcher steamrolling this fight in the first round. But I like it when the fighters mature a little bit. Like I would love to see him slow down the pace and take his time a little bit more, so you don't have to worry about a close third round or something like that. But yeah, I just don't see the value there at minus 300 right now. So I'm kind of staying away from this one.
That's a good comment there, Dan Goldstein.
He said, fun fact, Themba learned to grapple from Mike Blood Diamond Mathia, whatever. I'm lying, but it could be true. Yeah, man. He's a tough dude, but I don't feel like he's a lifelong mixed martial artist. I feel like he's been a tough dude and then learned a little MMA.
Are we pronouncing his name wrong? Maybe we should pronouncing it as Themba. Was Themba from Lion King? Right,
Themba. Isn't his name Themba?
I think I'm going to call him Themba from now on.
Themba. Yeah, man. So we're on that. Let's see. Dev said he's got the dog. He's got Themba.
Yeah, dude.
He said AJ has low fight IQ. Dan said I give Lena Landsberg more of a shot than Themba. Me too. I do too.
Okay.
Saba said I gave Mr. Sarowitz a follow on the gram. Cool to know people like my friend Marab. Yeah, he's got some Georgian. Saba's half Georgian. So
nice.
He loves Marab and Giga and the big dudes and Ilya
Roman.
Yep. Yeah, Roman Delice. Pink Floyd said parlayed AJ hedge with Themba TKO. AJ too strong a wrestler to be sub, but if he tires later, those looping stripes could land. Definitely. FE says killer cast. Everybody go check out Any Action Sportscast, man, with great breakdowns. And he's been killing it. Won like 4 weeks in a row. I just watched his video this morning, man. Another great video. So everybody go like and subscribe to his stuff. He deserves to get up to 200 subscribers by the end of March, bare minimum. So appreciate you coming out, hanging out, Effie. Dan said Themba got his UFC start at 32 years old. They're feeding him. That's how I feel too.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, because Fletcher's a good fighter, dude. He's exciting.
And he needs I shouldn't say he needs a win, but it'd be nice for him to get a win here, right?
Get right fight. Because I mean, he came in.
Well, three losses in the UFC when you first start out in a row. It's like, ugh. Even if you are good, it's like, man, it's like you got one more chance, man.
Yep. Here's a really good fight in the men's bantamweight division. We got Jamal Emmers versus Hussein Askhabov. Johnny, you can start this one.
All right. So both these guys are coming in off of little layoffs. I know Askhabov's layoff is a little longer, like almost 3 years, but I really like Askhabov here. I think he's very talented. He's very well-rounded, very good grappling. And I think he's going to eventually start in the fight, get Emmers down and work the grappling. I mean, Emmers is pretty solid. He's got solid, striking and wrestling himself, but I think the grappling department is the biggest difference here. And I just think Askhabov is going to win this one. Probably by decision, I say. Emmers is pretty tough, but he's got low fight IQ, so he could make a really stupid decision too and leave his neck out there, so who knows. So give me Askhabov here, and I say by decision. I got a money line bet on him at minus 130. I think that's a good line. I wasn't going to touch him at like minus 150 or something when it first started out, or where it's at now, but I like it at that line.
Nice. Yeah, minus 130 is not bad at all. Manny, what do you got?
All right, so in an alternate world, like another parallel universe, he won the fight against Chikadze. That's Jamal Emmers. He won that fight. I watched that fight back. He beat him. He lost by split decision according to Tapology and the record books. But the guy is, to me, one of the most underrated fighters, at least on this card. And I know I'm going against Johnny. I like you, Johnny, so I don't want to get your pick here.
I like you, man. It's all good.
Doesn't sound like it.
But like I find him to be a pretty good overall athlete. Wasn't a state championship wrestler, but wrestled in college for a minute. He's an athlete. He's got a long, lean body. I think he's the better athlete here. Now, the fights I watched of Hussein Askhabov, I just wasn't very impressed. Now, the record looks impressive. The OV at the last name looks impressive. The lines being affected by that. But I'm not that impressed by him. I think Jamal Emmers has clearly fought the better competition. Emmers is also questionable. He has his own issues too. I get it. Not a very high finish rate. Goes to judges, loses by split decision, all that kind of bullshit. But he's the better athlete here, and cardio is really good. I think he wins this fight here by decision. Jamal Emmers.
Okay. I'm gonna go, and then we'll have Dr. Sarowitz after that. Yeah, man, I like Hussein here. I'm not that impressed with Jamal Emmers. It's not that he's bad. I mean, he's pretty much good everywhere, but he's not like great anywhere. He has terrible fight IQ. If he just came out and wrestled Giga the whole freaking 3 rounds, he probably would have won. But he didn't do that. He tried to go out there and strike with him, which he has good striking too. He's got decent wrestling. He doesn't really use it that much. I think he doesn't really use it that much because I think it gasses him out, dude. If you watched him fight Vince Cachera, like he literally was gassed in the 3rd round. And even afterwards, when he did the interview, he's like, I had to push hard to get through it. Cause he did throw out a lot of volume and stuff, but like he was acting like, and that's not a very dangerous guy he was fighting. And he started getting beat up in the 3rd round. And like, cause he was gassing out. And then the Pat Sabatini thing, which Sabatini obviously we see is pretty easy to hurt, but then he went down and couldn't finish him, starts playing heel hook with him, which was ridiculous. Hussein Askhabov, man. Yeah, he's fought low-level comp, 23-0, but he was young when he was fighting these people. This kid's 18, 19, fighting lower-level guys, building his stuff up. But he don't get it twisted, dude. He's a combat world sambo champion. He's a karate world champion. Like, this kid's been fighting his whole life and is great everywhere. His wrestling's great. His striking's great. He's got flying knees, spinning shit, all kinds of stuff. I think people were expecting Jamal Emmers to have a nice size advantage on him, but if you looked at the face-offs, he's
almost the same.
Pretty much same size. Askhabov with that big old head and that OV on the last name, man. I think for 100%, I think we can all agree he's going to have better wrestling here. I mean, Jamal Emmers, like I said, high school wrestling, low college, but this dude is a Chechen crazy dude, 23-0. And granted, they're against some people, but this man's never slipped on a banana pill one time, never got caught in one thing, never got, nothing, never got clipped, nothing. He's well-rounded. I think that he's going to be better everywhere. I think his striking is going to be more explosive and dynamic. I think Jamal Emmers is 33 years old. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years, coming off getting his knee blown out by Sabatini. Hussein's been training at ATT with Movsar Evelev for the last couple of years. He's been in the U.S. training. He hasn't fought in 3 years, but I think it's only getting better for him. It's almost good. Then he used to fight at 135. He's fought at 145 a couple of times, but coming up to 145 at 28, that gave him 3 years to grow into that body. He was just with Volkanovski, his whole camp, getting him ready for Islam's wrestling and grappling. Like, this dude's a savage. Like, Volkanovski ain't going to bring some dude in to help him get ready for all that for no reason. So this kid's a savage.
That's the guy he's bringing in. I mean, it's high praise.
Yeah, and it's like Hussein, like he's 25 when he hasn't been in fighting in 3 years. He's 25 and he's all around the world training with all these guys, only getting better. What's Jamal Emmers been doing? He was supposed to fight a year ago, had back spasms, couldn't even come out to the cage. Got his knee tore up against Sabatini. He's 33 years old now, going on 34 years old. Like, is he getting better in this time off? Is he going to come in a whole new savage with a whole new bunch of or is this going to be the same old Jamal Emmers that's going to show bad fight IQ and get caught at some point? Because he's going to play whatever game Hussein wants to play. So give me Hussein. I got him at minus 125. I bought the dip. I was just waiting. I believe that's the lowest it got to, and now he's back to minus 160. Yeah, man, I was buying the dip. I was never going to bet him at the minus 280 or whatever 250 he started at. And anybody that got Emmers at plus 150 or above, you did your job. That's a good line. Bet. It's a good line. But like, this kid's going to be better, man. And I think he's going to be younger, faster, more explosive, and good wherever the fight goes. And Emmers is, decent striking, decent grappling. And this kid could be a crazy Chechen world beater. You know what I mean? I'm going to put my money on the 23-0 off at pretty decent lines. So, Dr. Sarowitz, what do you got?
Yeah, man, I like Askhabov too. I will say, like, if if the hype is real, this is probably the cheapest you're going to get them for a real long time.
Oh,
minus
yes.
125.
Oh yeah. I'm taking a
So
stab.
I think there's a lot of value there too. And but a fight like this where it's close, I think there's value on both sides because with Emmers, I mean that split decision with Giga Jacasey, you can't discount that either, So I think there's potential if he plays it smart. Do I think he will play it smart? No. I think a lot of his strengths, unfortunately, line up exactly with Askhabov's strengths. So I think he's going to have a really hard time, getting any traction in this fight. So I like Askhabov here. I mean, there's always a risk, with a 3-year layoff, but it's not like he was sitting on the couch. He's training with high-level guys that whole time. So we'll see if the hype is real or not, because the debuts are always weird, anything could happen, but I like Askhabov. Yeah.
Nice. So that's all 4 of us had Askhabov, right? Or no.
I'm on Emmers.
No.
But here's one thing I will say is I don't disagree with what the assessment was. All the points that were made valid. I guess it's not even plus money. I feel like the experience is where the advantage is at. It's not just a Chikaze fight. He's also fought some other guys. In my mind, I don't consider the loss to Sabatini a mixed martial arts fight. He thought he was fighting a mixed martial arts fight, but he was actually fighting a grappling bout. He just didn't realize it against a really good grappler, and he just had a mind fuck moment. So yeah, I'm making a lot of excuses in my head for Emmers, but yeah, I'm on Emmers.
That's what I'm saying. This though, with Askhabov, really quick, he's never had a mind fuck moment in 23 fights. Like that's pretty amazing.
That means something. That's true. That means something. Yes, that's worth something.
To not ever Well, go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah. I was gonna say I will say this though. I think what Emmers needs to do is keep the fight on the feet because I just don't think he should grapple in this fight.
No.
So he just as long as he doesn't follow him or if he clips Askhabov, don't follow him to the mat.
Here's another thing.
Probably gonna lose.
Yep, I don't like Emmers' cardio, and Askhabov, I check that out. His cardio checks out too. So he'll go 3 rounds of wrestling, explosive stuff. I've seen him get reversed and stuff, but he's over there fighting other tough Russians, man, that have been wrestling, doing their shit their whole life. Even if their record ain't all right, it's because they've been fighting other badass Russians. Like,
facts.
How hard would that be to come up on the damn Russian scene and just be, these dudes that are like 22-0, some got the padded records, but you're still fighting other tough human beings, man. Jumbo said everything said Askhabov should win, but I got the weirdest feeling about him, so I got a small sneaky bet on Emmers. Yeah. Okay. Nick Sisson, all right, the Fantastic Four. All right, y'all hit the like button for these gentlemen and let's all make some money today. Yeah, what's up? Thanks. Yep, thanks, Nick. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, we got only 31 people right now, but everybody smash that like button. Manny, I'm on the same red wine myself. Cheers, buddy. Yeah. I got some Triple Hops brewed. Got that Miller Lite. I'm
Miller time, baby.
I gotta go get me another bottle of bourbon. Actually,
stay classy, San Diego.
You see that bourbon I got there, Cody? I sent it to you.
No. What'd you send it to me?
I got some Blanton's. Instagram.
Oh, no shit.
My local liquor store, which is just a really small liquor store. I never in a million years would have thought they had one, and they didn't even have it on the shelf. I'm like, hey. By any chance, do you guys get Blantons or Wellers? They're like, actually, we have Blantons right now. I'm like, well, give me that right now because you're not going to keep it back there if you have it. So it's
right. Good. That's a score. You can't even get that here in the freaking capital of the world. I can't go get
Frankfurt, Kentucky. That's where it's at.
It's the capital. Yep. All that stuff. Buffalo.
So I already won. Actually, I already won today, guys. So I don't even care about my bets. I got my Blantons. We're good. I'm just going to sip on that. We're out.
Pink Floyd said, "Damn, Cody, I've been on Emmers, but that breakdown is switching me as it should. Pink Floyd.
As it should.
As I'm doing my job then. But no, I feel strongly about this one to say the least. Dan said, been hating this product of Grozny for his soft record. Go check Khabib's early record. These Slavics all have SIFT records, but it doesn't make them all soft. No, if you're from Chechnya, I can promise you the opposite of soft. Like if you're from Chechnya, you're from a place that's harder than any place in America. Like I don't care.
Those
Chicago,
kids, those kids eat glass. They eat glass for breakfast over there.
Yes.
Those kids.
Yeah. Yes, they're doing combat sambo at 6 months.
think of it this way too: 23 fights. I mean, he hasn't lost. Like, you don't have to fight great guys every fight, but if you don't mess up once or anything like that against somebody that's not as good as you, like 23 times in a row, like he's got to be good, right? I mean, or at least somewhat decent.
Yep. Johnny, you hit 2K subscribers?
I did last night,
yeah.
and milestone just hit. So
My man,
I'm excited
Johnny
about that.
2K.
Did
That
it.
boy.
Woo.
That boy.
Appreciate everybody.
Be out here
Appreciate it.
flexing on us with all them subscribers.
Oh,
we got to check.
next step is everybody else to get 2K.
Got to check Dr. Sorowitz's Instagram pages, man. He's pushing 50,000.
My Instagram's like 12.
Oh wow! I have to like your IG. You need another like.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. I'll follow you.
Let's do it.
You need me to follow you.
Bring him
We
in.
got a couple different ones too. Like I said, at the end too, we'll go over all the different stuff to follow. The links are in the description too. I got links in the description. I'll have to put up Manny's stuff too. I know I put it somewhere on Instagram. Dude, I've been so busy with all the different stuff, with this, with work, with this, and like just tape study, Discord. Like, dude, it's been crazy. But we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. JohnnyKpicks. All right, boys. Next fight is in the men's light heavyweight division, and we got Ovince St. Preux versus Felipe Lins. I'm gonna let Dr. Sarowitz start this one. I'll be right back.
I got a lot to say about this one.
Congratulations. You're starting this bad boy off.
I love this one. I will say this, like I've gotten to know OSP over the years. Just a wonderful human being, just so respectful, so down to earth. Just the nicest person you can imagine. He's doesn't like to text, he likes to call, so it's always a treat when I see OSP on the line. But just a sweet dude, and around same age as me too, so I like him as a person. But now let's talk about the fight. I tell you, man, it's so disappointing sometimes to watch some of his fights, because he gets in this almost like sparring match kind of mode. No sense of urgency, no care for what the scores are or anything. Even when he's behind, he has this same kind of pace, and he kind of gets stuck there. Looking at his last few fights too, he got a split decision win over Shogun. I don't know if that's something that should be celebrated that much, considering how he looked a couple of weeks ago too. So I definitely have some concern on the OSP side. I don't see him as being that dangerous anymore. I think the times he's gotten finishes, he finished Alonzo Menafield, who is significantly smaller, and basically just ran into his fist. He's fallen into submissions. He's got his Von Preux choke, which is always dangerous. But unless somebody is really falling into him, I don't see him getting a finish anywhere. Looking at the other side, on the Lins side, he actually looked quite good coming down from heavyweight in his last fight. Since he was a true heavyweight, he's actually pretty close in size to OSP. So I don't think OSP is going to be able to play that jab front kick kind of game to keep the distance quite as well. I think Lins is going to get to him. I think he pushed it for 3 hard rounds in his last fight. Real good mix of stand up and grappling. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he came in light to this fight. He came in under the weight limit, which is crazy considering he came down from heavyweight. So I look at that to me, and he's in the best shape of his life. He's in better shape than his last fight. He could push the pace even further. If OSP plays this stand-up sparring match kind of thing, he's going to get pieced up, because I think OSP only has a 2-inch reach advantage in this one, as opposed to that 6 or 7 inch reach against Alonzo. So I think the stand-up is trouble. I think Lins could grapple him. I think he could get a finish on the ground. With ground and pound, I think he could potentially get a sub, but ground and pound might be the path of least resistance. So I'm going pretty heavy on Lins in this one. As much as it pains me, I just, sometimes it looks like OSP just doesn't want to be in there, So as much as it hurts, I'm pretty heavy on Lins straight to win. I got it. I want to say minus 215, which I think is actually a pretty good value the way that I see it. I'm not sure. Has that one changed at all today?
I think it's around 215 still.
Around 215. Yeah, so it pretty much stayed pat. So I think people are kind of discrediting Lins, but I think stylistically he has such an advantage in this one. Yeah.
Yeah. 8 years ago, this would be a different fight. Johnny, what do you have?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, Andrew. Just OSP is his super low volume, and all he really does is throw kicks at range. Like, he doesn't let his hands go anymore. He always keeps his head up whenever he whenever someone's going after him and strikes him. And he doesn't really use his grappling and wrestling that much anymore. He's getting up there in age. He's 39. But as you said, he just doesn't look like he wants to be in there after so long. Like, maybe after a couple of minutes, he just like, I'm just gonna survive and stay at range and try not to get hit in the face a lot, and then just hope for the best. And then Lins coming in, like, I mean, it's hard for me to trust Lins too. He did win against Proctino, I think, in his last fight, but I mean, he didn't look all that great either, but at least he does have some grappling he can use. He does have the power advantage in this fight for sure. And I do see him getting that, like, maybe first or early second round finish. I don't think this fight's going to last too long. I think Lins looks really good on the scales, and I think it's going to be a little bit different fight. But like I said, it's hard for me to trust either guy here, but I like Lins to win by knockout.
Like it. Manny, what do you got, brother?
Yeah, so I do like Lins to win, and I think when the fight's over, this line of like minus 200 will look like a bargain, because I think he's way better in this, like 2023 right now. He's just much better than where OSP is at in his career, right? But if you're going to bet on OSP, take him by KO. That's pretty juicy. That prop's available. It's not going to be by decision again. It's not going to be OSP out voluming Lins for 3 rounds. Like, that's not going to happen. I could almost guarantee my mortgage payment on that one.
Right.
If it goes 3 rounds, Lins doesn't get knocked out. It works out his way. But here's some things to think about now. For Lins, he's been finished in some way, shape, or form in 4 of his 5 losses. So Lins does have a little bit of a durability issue. And if OSP connects with anything that's, super duper strong, he could change the entire fight. For Lins, I noticed looking in his background, he was a light heavyweight, then went to heavyweight, went to the PFL, won the thing, whatever, then went to the UFC, got beat up a little bit, now came back to light heavyweight. It's almost like going back to where he first started. He looks great. I think he wins this fight easily. He probably finishes OSP because OSP is going to be balled up and just fatigued. Not knocked out, just kind of like not returning fire. So I do like Lins here, but if you're going to bet on OSP, it's going to be by knockout. He's going to just somehow catch him somewhere, shape, or form. That's my take on this.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Ovin St. Preux looked terrible against Shogun Hua. He looked terrible, low volume. He really just throws them front kicks, teat kicks to the stomach. I could see this being a real boring fight, because it could almost be like the Malarkey fight in that is that Lins will take whatever Ovin St. Preux gives him. So if he just has to jab him, land a little overhand here and there and like some leg kicks, and if Ovin St. Preux's barely thrown back, why go for the kill? Why try to take him down, beat him up? Why not just piece him up? Jamie freaking Malarkey, I bet the under in that. And afterwards he goes, yeah, man. He's doing his interviews like, yeah, man, I mean, I only got touched, when I went into exchange. It's fucking fighting. Go exchange, bro. It's fighting. Like, of course you got hit a little bit, dude. Like,
it was disgusting.
He said that. And then they did, like, they weren't even booing that fight or the Tyson Pedro fight, because it was Australian dudes in it. But them were the worst fights in the world. They weren't even doing nothing. Modestus, Badudi, all that. That's both terrible fights, dude. I'm taking Felipe Lins just because, like I said, if this was 8 years ago, it'd be a different fight. But Ovin St. Preux, so low output. He's still durable. He's always durable as long as he ain't fighting like Jamal Hill or one of these savages. So I think he makes it to the end. I'm going to go with Felipe Lins. I'm going to say he does it by decision in a boring fight, just like kind of like the low output Shogun fight. And he just takes whatever Ovin St. Preux gives him, especially after he death gassed against Prachnio last time. Both of them death gassed. I'm sure you don't want to feel that.
After like a round and a half, both of them were like just trying to survive to the 3rd round, unfortunately. That's why I was like, I can't trust either guy. Like, it's tough, but I do think Lins should win, like, on paper. But
Lins looked great at weigh-ins. I'll give him that.
He did.
He looks good. He looks. He's also 3 years younger. And, 40 versus 37 for a man
A lot
who's
of less
25.
miles too.
That's a big difference. Those are like 10. When you get to like 35 as a man, every year after that, it's like dog years. There's 7 years for every year after 35.
Yeah.
Dang
it. Now I'm like 72 years old in UFC years.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm not getting back in the cage anytime soon, boys. We got Saba said Lins KO TKO round 2. I like that.
Stop stealing my picks.
Hey, Dan, Johnny K gonna be a beef with MMA Guru next and getting them numbers up.
Guru
taking his stuff. Lin spent all this time hiding and being a coward, but also was clearly saying his prayers and taking his Gelton on my vitamins. Yeah, he looked good, man. Dev's got OSP via the Von Prue. The Von Prue choke. Sicky said, "What's up? What's up, Sicky MMA? Everybody go check out Sicky on YouTube and Twitter, man. He if you need some John Jones information, he's got what you need.
That's so funny, dude.
He supplies all of it.
I wasn't gonna say it, but Cody said it for me.
He's gonna have to go in hiding if Johnny Bones loses that one.
I think he even said if he loses, he's probably gonna take a break from Twitter for like 2 weeks.
Johnny K giving OSP that tough love. Yeah, sometimes they need it, man. OSP fights like he has asthma now. You hate to see it. Yeah, man.
I mean, yeah, he throws like 3 strikes a minute, so maybe even less.
Yeah, I got like a free roll on this one because if my bet is wrong, I'm still gonna be super happy for
win-win
if he can pull this out.
It's a win-win, man. Michael A. MMA punters. Yes, fellows. Good luck tonight. Good luck to you too, dude. Appreciate you showing up, hanging out with us giving us your time before the fights. OSP did look kind of terrible. OC fights like pulling a trailer.
Actually, I thought Shogun won that fight, to be honest. I know it was close. It wasn't a robbery, but I thought Shogun did a little bit more, but that's just me.
I did too. If you're going that close with Shogun right now, I mean, Felipe Lins ain't washed all the way yet. You know what I mean? Like, so it sucks, dude, man. But if OSP, like Andrew's saying, man, if OSP pulls this out, I'll be happy. I didn't put no bets on it because
I got no bets on this either.
Johnny, your boy's here.
I don't know that guy.
Here's my boy. What's up, Nibs? What's up, Cody? Let's get some money tonight. This is my dude from back home. What's up, Nibs? Appreciate you hanging out with us. And I'll be back home for my birthday here in about a month. So get the pool table and poker game ready.
Oh shit!
I'll beef with the Guru. Dev beef with anybody. He wants all the
Dev
smoke.
don't care.
He wants
I like your style, Jesus. I like your style.
Let's see. Abraham, what is up, man? He said, "Yo, what's good? Playing some UFC 4 while listening to y'all." Here's another thing for until the end of this month, sporadically, maybe even tonight after the fights. I've been getting on UFC 4 on Xbox on my old account and playing. So I'm gonna have to play with some of the people on here.
I'm terrible.
But when I beat you on, you still got to come back and hang out, bro. Don't take it personal.
Yeah, I'll jump on that. I haven't played that in a while.
You got UFC on the Xbox?
Yep.
Oh, I'm like, dude, we got to do the Capper fight, dude. What? We're gonna have to cut that and make a clip.
Oh shit!
We have to do something.
As long as you're OSP, we're good.
I'm just terrible at that game though. My ground game is suspect. That's problem.
I used to be so good,
dude. If you know how to actually grapple in that game pretty decently, you're gonna win every fight.
Listen, I decide every single fight when I go to the ground. I immediately figure out like, oh, that doesn't work. This guy can grapple better than me. I'm off the ground the rest of the entire time. Like, that's it.
Yeah. I played it so much. I was addicted to that was the only, because I didn't play very many games like when I was older, but and then I played it so much and like I was really, really good on the ground. And then as I got I was great because I like wrestling and all that. And I mean, I'd mess people up. So then as I got higher up, though, them dudes, I couldn't start taking them down. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to use my wrestling to keep it standing and strike. Dude, I got so good at that game, but then I ruined my hands. I break controllers because I'm so dumb, and I squeeze them like it's going to make it do something.
Throw them against the wall a couple times.
No, dude,
I just why they break when that happens.
I'm like, what the heck? They don't make them like they used to. They don't make them like they used to. 138 MMA, what's up? He said, better watch out. Johnny Guru has been going after everyone lately. Better stay.
He can come after me. It's all good. I still like him.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll welcome the heat.
Yep, want all the smoke, just like MMA.
I mean, if I can get a little bit of his 78,000 subscribers, that's cool.
Yeah, Johnson, big money's gonna be made at this UFC fight night, definitely, bro. Gonna be drinking some Stone Cold IPA since there's gonna be some cold-blooded victories tonight. Yes, sir, Jumbo. Addicted to Combat, Patty, what is up? Awesome panel here. What's up, everybody? He just came in off of Brady's show. Everybody go check out Addicted to Combat stuff, man. I'm trying to get him up to 1,000 subscribers.
Yes,
He's
sir.
doing a great job, but he should be up there, man, and puts out great videos every single week. Good stuff, man. And great dude. He's awesome, dude. Hopefully he's gonna come out and hang out in Vegas when we go. So what's up, Staba? Man, he got the online ground game of Blood Diamond as well. The Mike Mathia. That's the latest.
It's true.
Yep. All right, boys. Next fight we have women's bantamweight.
I'm taking Jack's. I wanted his training session for UFC 4 on how to wrestle.
I'd turn you all into wrestlers real quick on UFC 4. You don't want these problems. Hey, the name's Hans Whipkey on there, so you better bring the wrestlers. Hans Whipkey.
Love it.
That's the handle. If you throw the controller violently, it makes you lose less. That's true. It is true. I used to make my friends throw them, dude. I'd be talking so much shit.
Doing a little tournament.
Yeah, hey, I'm down. We'll have to figure out how to do all that. You guys probably know. I'll get on it. White LFA hat. Did you get that last night, Johnny? It is nice.
Yeah. I have to get a hat every event I go to. So this one was like totally sticking out. And my wife's like, you need to get that one. I'm like, I like it.
I like it. All right, boys. Women's bantamweight 135. Lena Landsberg versus Mayra Bueno Silva. I'm going to start this one, and I'm going to take Mayra Bueno Silva. I think it's going to be a lot closer than the line indicates. Lena Landsberg's good. She's old, but she's good. Like I bet Carol Rosa against her last time, and I was worried. Like it was a really close fight, and if Carol Rosa wouldn't have used her grappling, she might not have got that win, especially with that illegal knee she landed. But Mayra Bueno Silva obviously is younger and she has more powerful striking, but Lena Landsberg is a Muay Thai world champion, and I think she'll be able to strike there and not get finished. I don't really think this fight goes to the ground because Bueno Silva's never taken anybody to the ground, and Lena Landsberg maybe could, but I don't think she's going to want to. I think Bueno Silva's going to land the bigger shots here. Every Lena Landsberg fight, though, is played out in the clinch up against the cage, and she's very good there. So she's going to get some control time on Bueno Silva, and this is going to be pretty close, in my opinion. But give me Bueno Silva by a closer decision, like -5, 600. Don't play the Tuhugov guy. If you're getting -600, you want your person to come out there and smoke them in the first round. The first round, this person's so much better that they're just going to come out here, smoke. It's a short notice. It's a levels thing. Lena Landsberg is going to make this close because it's girls fighting. That's just how she fights. And there's going to be probably 7 minutes of this fight out of the 15 fought in the clinch of them just going back and forth. And Bueno Silva has good clinch knees. That's why I'm favoring her in that. But give me Bueno Silva close decision. Dr. Sarowitz, who do you have?
Yeah, I like Mayra too. I got lucky. I put mine in early. I got her at -380. And this is like all the way juiced up. So like, yeah, I think -500 when I checked this morning. So I'm not a big fan at -500, but -380 I felt good. And I actually put it as part of a parlay. I think she's the more dangerous of the two. And she's been fighting really, really tough competition as well. I rewatched her fight with, what's her face, Montana De La Rosa, who's just a really, really good wrestler. And I feel like if there's an Achilles heel, like that is it. Like if she gets taken down a whole bunch, she might not look so good. I don't think that's going to happen here. I think it's going to mostly be on the feet. Normally I would think there's like real finish potential, but Lena Landsberg is tough. I don't think she's ever been submitted either. So I think, kind of like what you said, I think it's going to look a lot closer than it does on paper. But I think Mayra could get a unanimous decision here, maybe even 30-27. Yeah.
You're on mute.
Mm-hmm.
I like that,
Cody.
I do that once or twice a show. You'll have that. You'll have that.
I'm like, you're on mute, man.
Johnny always accuses
so it's so easy. I'm like, you're on mute, man.
It's on you, Johnny. It's on you.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Bueno Silva as well. I don't like the -500, but I do think it's a safe parlay piece. To be honest, still, I just don't see how she loses this fight unless she just comes in and just doesn't strike. Like that's it. I mean, I think she's better everywhere except maybe in the clinch. Landsberg is, but she's also pretty good in the clinch too. So I mean, maybe that's like They're both neck and neck there. But everywhere else, I think she's better. She got better striking. I think she has a little bit more power. Even if this fight goes to the mat, I know she's not a great wrestler at all, and she's never got a takedown in her UFC career, but this could be the time to do it, maybe, because Landsberg doesn't have great takedown defense. So I don't think she has to do that, though. So I think she can keep this on the feet and just outstrike her for 3 rounds and win 30-27. But I got no bet on this fight. Maybe look at the submission prop because, Silva does have a lot of arm bars.
Right.
That could be a little sprinkle if you guys want to, but
if it hits the ground, that's a good possibility, man.
Yeah, so give me Silva, but I'm going to say by decision as well.
All right. Manny, what you got, brother?
All right, just a few little bullet points here because I agree with most of what you guys are saying, but just some things to point out here. So for Lee Landsberg, she's been finished twice. Once by Chris Cyborg, the other time I don't know who it was, but pretty durable over the course of her career. This will be her 9th UFC fight. So she has been pretty durable. She is 41 versus 31. So it's a 10 years, it's a full decade age difference. That is a lot. I can imagine a bad loss might even see her putting her gloves down and saying, I'm done with this for the UFC. I might be retiring. For Bueno Silva, the submissions, Johnny K mentioned the submissions, right? So she has 5 armbar submission wins between MMA and grappling. Like 1 grappling armbar submission win. The other 4 were in MMA. She has 5 total mixed martial arts submissions. And there's one thing that's common about all of them. They've all occurred in round 1. She has 6 total finishes in her 9 total wins. So she does have finishing ability. And again, all of her submission wins have been in round 1. So the round 1 submission prop for Bueno Silva is like plus 650 range. I'm playing that because I get way more return. If she wins the fight and it's dominant, that's how it's going to happen. Like Cody said, if it's not dominant and it ends up being like, then you're sweating out this minus whatever the fuck you got it at, because then it's like a women's fight, and it goes to like a draw, a split decision, whatever. She should win, but I believe it occurs early on. Now, as for that ground stuff, let me try to explain this to you guys. She has no takedown ability, but if Lena takes her against the fence and starts doing this whole like pushy huggy shit,
she pulls guard or something.
She's gonna pull guard. That's what she'll do. She'll pull guard and grab the arm. She wants to work from her back. She chases what she chases arm bars. You don't get arm bars on top of people. You get arm bars off your back by pulling guard, by chasing an arm bar. So I fully imagine a scenario where we have him against the fence and she jumps to her back, chasing an arm. Maybe doesn't get it right away, but then Lena, being silly, goes down to the ground, like Krylov going to the ground with Paul Craig, or Jamal Hill going to the ground with Paul Craig.
Emmers and Sabatini.
Yeah, just don't go to the ground. And that's how the armbar happens, and I believe it happens in round 1. So that's how I see the fight happening. Yeah, that's my opinion.
I like it. Saba's on Bueno Silva by decision. SK says Johnny met Bilal Muhammad last night. Was that the first UFC fighter you met? And then no, Saba said he met the lightweight champ before. Got that picture. Can you guys see it?
Look how small I am.
Yo, dude. No, dude. That's
Islam's huge, man.
You look tall there, dude. You're standing tall, dude. Come on.
I mean, the beard's looking phenomenal. That beard is crispy.
That shit looks so real.
That shit looks so
real. I know it does.
Saba's a crazy man. He made that. So yeah, he's met a couple. I met Delitze.
I met
Giga,
Stipe, Delitze, Giga,
Cody Garbrandt,
Corey Garbrandt. Yep,
a lot of them.
I think there's a couple more, maybe.
One together.
Like little over half an hour until.
I know. Yeah. All right. Dan Goldstein, elbow queen. If this stays standing for 3 rounds, it could get close. Pete Freud, most takedowns landed is pick 'em. Who would you take in this fight? I mean, Landsberg could land a takedown, but I would. That's a wild bet for this one. I don't. It might not even hit the ground, but because like Manny said, maybe Bueno Silva pulls guard. Dan said, Lena drops people in every fight for sure. Professor Chaos Silva, 0 takedowns. Yep. Bueno Silva hit instead of shooting. She will do the Bobby Green and yell and swag. She is too, dude. She's tough. I like how she comes forward.
She does remind me of Bobby Green striking a little bit.
Hey, she has that good
think about
time,
that until now. Yeah.
Hey, Cody, Johnny, Manny, and what's up, Doc? Just jumping in. Fresh hat, Johnny. Yo.
Thank you.
Addicted to Combat said, Manny, I like your style. What you sipping on this afternoon?
That's going to be some Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ooh, fancy. That sounded really nice. That's just rolled off the tongue right there, huh? Johnny's like Miller Lite, smashes it off his head.
Miller time.
He's like Miller Lite out of the shoe, and he just has a shoe and drink them. Okay. Patrick said, also, Dr. Andrew, I just followed the apparel page on IG. I'll definitely be picking up something. Those designs, they are. Everybody, you got to check that out.
We gotta plug that. I'm gonna jump on that too, dude.
Bro, it's so nice. And it does other stuff.
Thanks, guys.
I'm
gonna give a bunch of those away too when we finish. We'll you want to put in the comments? We'll tell people how they can get some.
Yep. He's going to be doing a giveaway for some swag that he's going to send people. Just going to have to do a couple things. Then stay on. We'll be done here in a little bit, and he's going to give all his information away. But like I said, it's super awesome. He makes the mouthpieces, the actual mouthpieces for a ton of these guys, UFC fighters, and he's got a couple pages, and they're all huge and they're nice. Bro, your shirts are phenomenal. I went and looked through the sweatshirt. They're great price too. Like awesome. I like the one where you got the dentist, the actual dentist one. That was always my favorite nickname, Josh the Near. Josh the Dentist Near. Like I'm taking your teeth out. I love that nickname. I would use that on UFC. Like I'm taking your teeth, the dentist. Oh, better. What is up, man? Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. I seen you hanging out with Rams and them last night. Appreciate it, man.
Good stuff.
Silva via Saba, Johnny also met Josh Emmett. Yeah,
I did. I forgot about him. I met him at the barbecue place in Texas.
Yeah, both have bad wrestling. Yeah, Bob Butter ain't lying. Where's the Cabernet from, man?
California.
Nice. I prefer Napa wines myself. He said, you guys are fancy.
High class. Look at you.
High class. All right, boys. Next fight, men's flyweight division. Juan Camilo Ronderos versus Clayton Carpenter. Manny, we'll let you start this one.
Ronderos and Carpenter. So, yeah, I like Carpenter a lot. He's one of my favorite picks in the entire card on the money line, especially if you locked him in early on at minus 285 range, which is where we got him at. He's probably ballooned now above minus 300, I think, right? Mm-hmm. Good submission game. 350 now? Wow, look at that.
Yeah, 315, I think.
315. Okay. So Dana White Contender Series product didn't get a finish on that show, but ended up getting a contract. Prior to that, had a bunch of submission wins. Good grappler. He did get pieced up, though, a little bit on Contender Series. Like, he had a little bit of a welt under one of his eyes, took a few punches, stand-up game, needs some work there. But I believe he's getting, like, a full-on, like, layup here. Juan Camilo, long layoff and stuff, and had, like, a suspension from being on the gear and, like, whatever. Like, just a lot of question marks with him. I think this is a full layup for Clayton Carpenter. If the UFC is smart, they should give him a layup. Give him 4 or 5 layups. Get him going. This is a guy with a lot of potential. He's super young. So I like Carpenter here a lot. I'd parlay him with a lot of confidence. The fight not going to decision at minus 240 is a spot that I will probably also parlay. And, Juan Camilo looked really cool in the pre-fight stuff. He was, like, really a mellow guy. Seemed totally normal. I don't wish him any ill will, but he's going to be the cheese, and Clayton Carpenter's going to be the grater, and that's how it's going to work out. So, yeah.
I like it, Patrick. I was reading the comments. Johnny, what do you got?
Patrick's happening in.
Patrick picks.
Petty the Addy. Patrick picks.
Petty 2 picks.
Funny thing is, my name is Patrick. So.
Oh shit.
I like Carpenter here a lot. He's one of my most confident picks as well. I think he's better everywhere, especially the grappling department. Like Manny did say, though, the one thing that does worry me he doesn't really have the greatest head movement. Keep his head straight on the line where he can get hit kind of easily at times, but I just don't think Ronderos will be able to knock him out. So I think that's his only path to victory to win this fight. But I can see Carpenter winning a decision, maybe getting the knockout, or even a submission if he gets to the ground too. So that's the kind of play I like to do, where this guy can win at any facet of this game. So give me Carpenter here. I got him at minus 280 for my parlay. So I think this is a pretty safe one.
I like it. Dr. Sarowitz, who you got, brother?
Yeah, I like Carpenter too. I was late to the party. I got him minus 305.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think they are trying to build him up a little bit, which is nice because a lot of these guys coming off contenders have been struggling. Juan Camilo, he lost his debut, but it was short notice, so you got to put a little asterisk there. Coming off the marijuana suspension too, it's like, how fresh is he going to be? So I think I feel good about Carpenter, and I think he's the kind of guy that's going to look better every time he comes out. I think he's going to learn from those mistakes he made and hopefully could even get a finish in this one. We saw Camilo is susceptible to the submission. I don't know. Could be a ground and pound type situation, and he gives up his back. That's how I'm envisioning this. But I am heavy on Carpenter.
I like it. I'm with you guys. He's my lock of the card. It's the perfect lock because I don't even use that word much, but he's better everywhere. He's bigger. He's better. And his opponent isn't dangerous at all. Juan Camilo, his striking isn't all that great. His offensive wrestling is okay. And then his defensive wrestling is bad. I think Carpenter's better everywhere. I think Carpenter gets a second round finish. And I think he's a bigger dude too, man. Just being a little bit bigger. Like he looked like a weight class above, and he's about to put on some more weight too. So give me Carpenter by a second round sub, man. I just think that he's the bigger, better fighter, and his opponent ain't dangerous. Dan said, do you make shirts in Pat's size? I heard it takes one whole mammoth pelt to make a single shirt for Addicted to Combat, Pat. Pat said, Manny, I got a shiny dome and drink Cabernet. God, I'm going to miss soaps. You got me, as well. Cavian. Sauvignon. How do you say that? Sauvignon?
Don't try to read it. Just Sauvignon.
See, you guys got it.
Just say cab.
Yes,
it's a good cab.
Wine.
Yes,
wine,
red wine.
We're not so different, you and I. Yeah, Carpenter is my parlay anchor, as he should be. Yeah, me and Dev's on the same page. He got Carpenter at plus 344, so that's a pretty good line, man. You beat it.
Was that like 5 months ago?
Yeah, you beat pretty decent amount of line movement there.
Jesus is fucking with you guys. That's not true. They never got Carpenter at 344.
No, not even close. Addicted Comment, Dan Goldstein. Everybody's been calling me the Big Show on the stream lately. He does look just like him.
It's true.
Yes, I hope Doc Andrew has 10XL to accommodate my obesity. Yeah, right. To accommodate them muscles.
My obesity. I love it.
Yeah. He can't even fit into a regular shirt. He's just got to wear the cutoffs.
So jacked.
I had to send him a blood money cutoff shirt. I'd have it made. Them shoulders are gigantic. What the heck? Juan Cocaine Camilo. Yeah, man. He likes to play Colombia, man. He's going to party a little bit.
He likes the nose candy.
We all like to party a little bit. Saba, Carpenter submission round 2. I like it. Now see, he's stealing my picks, Johnny. That's what he does. He goes and cherry picks me and yours best picks, and then he puts it as his. I guarantee it.
Unreal.
The game is up. Ice Viking, I put Carpenter in a parlay when he was minus 275 at the main event. I got him in a parlay with AJ Fletcher, and I got him at minus 280, and now I got him in a parlay with spoiler alert Peak from next week because I didn't like nobody on there, and I wanted to get his line a little better. And I got him at minus 340 like 2 days later. So a $60 swing there sucked, but I think he's good. Derek Izzy, what's up, brother? Appreciate you coming out. He said Carpenter by Hammer Fist. I like that.
Right on.
Flying knee bar, Saba says. AJ,
can't wait
what's
for that
up?
to happen one day.
So this card is going to be good to us, fellas. I feel it. I hope so.
Sir.
I feel it too, man. Carpenter is going to install a moonroof in the back of Juan's face. Ice Viking. Tiger Woods makes the cut with 3 birdies yesterday. It looks like he's actually having fun out there again. Maybe $20. Oh, plus 200. That's good stuff right there. That was me picking Tom Aspinall against Curtis Blades.
Jesus. Let it go, Saba. You're the only one that picked Blades. Fluke.
Here we go. I'm going to let Dr. Sarowitz start this fight off. Men's lightweight, 155. Nazim Sadiqov versus Evan Elder. What you got on this? I know you got some good info for this one.
Yeah, and I tell you, I kind of know both these guys a little bit. It's two really good teams. You got the Sarah Longo versus Kill Cliff. I'll go out there and I'll say I'm pretty good friends with Nazim, and this dude's an animal. Like, some people, you see them in there and it feels like a sport and they're going for points and there are rules and Nazim is an animal and he's a finisher. And I think that he can get a finish in this fight too. I think Evan Elder, unfortunately, he got a short notice shot up a weight class and just got manhandled, and for a young guy coming in undefeated, it's like mentally, how do you get over something like that? So when you see guys bounce back, I think they tend to be a little more conservative after getting their ass handed to him a little bit. And I think that's the last thing he could be doing against Nas. I got in this one early. I got Nas minus 175, and I saw it get as high as minus 200 on some lines. So I know a lot of money is going in on Nassim, which, I think that gives me confidence too, that it's not just me being biased. But yeah, I know he had a real good camp for this, really long camp for this. And the guys he trains with, it's just out of control. Murad, Aljo, Dennis Bazukia, everybody over there. And I think he's so well-rounded too. I think he can win the fight anywhere. And I would have said Elder maybe might want to grapple and wrestle, but he just got out-grappled for, the 3 full rounds in his debut. I think he's going to try to keep it standing, and I think that plays into Nassim's game plan too. So I got Nassim any way he wants to do it, period. And I think he is going to get a finish. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I like to hear right there. That's what I like.
I feel good about this one. I don't know if that was clear or not, but I got some confidence in my man on this one.
I got him at minus 170, and then he went up to minus 210. Then he went back down to minus 170. Now he's back up to minus 220, 210 in that area. So
he's about.
I think it's a battle of the two camps that they're coming from, because they both have really, really good pedigrees. It's as much about their training partners as it is the fighters themselves, I think.
Yeah. I feel like if Nazim went up on short notice at 170 and fought, what's his nuts? What's that dude? Preston Parsons, that he would do better. He would have a better showing than what happened out there. But Johnny, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Sadiqov as well here, but I mean, no offense to anybody here, I'm just not very confident, and here's why. It's because Elder did go up UFC debut against Preston Parsons, and he didn't look great, but there was a huge size advantage, and he just couldn't get up once he got taken down each time. But he stuck it out in there. He did okay. He didn't do great. I'm not saying he blew me away by any means, but I just didn't think there was no way he was going to win that fight being on a short notice and stuff like that. But I do think he's well-rounded. He's solid everywhere, Elder is. Sadiqov I think he's the more dangerous guy, though. He's more explosive. He can get the finish. I think if Elder does win this fight, it's going to be by a greasy decision, just grinding out the win here and then win by decision. But I'm going to say Sadiqov does win here. I think I can maybe see a 3rd round knockout or something. Another thing too with Sadiqov, he fought in the Dana White Contender Series against this guy, who I saw last night at LFA.
Yes, he lost last night. And he's a pretty good fighter.
Garbage. He
did
like garbage last night.
Geez. Okay,
last night he looked like garbage, and I'm just I'm like, how did Sadiqov take this guy to the 3rd round and finally he was that bad? I was in my seat. I'm like how this guy's terrible. Oh, wow. But so I don't want to so I still think Sadiqov wins this fight though. I'm sorry guys, but
now you're messing me up, dude.
His Dana White I can't even say his last name. It's Ahmad, but he fought somebody in LFA that was awful, and he looked bad.
He looked worse because he lost.
Yeah. No, and it wasn't even close. It was 30-27. And he got dropped 3 or 4 times. It was not good, guys. So that's not a good win. Okay. It's just not a good win. Don't look at that fight because it wasn't a good win.
Right, but now showed should win. Good stuff.
The talent is there.
Right. Manny, what you got?
All right, so what I have is my asshole's tight right now because I like Sadiqov.
but I think he wins. He should.
But here's my issue is that when I look back at that fight on Contender Series against the Ahmad Sahil Hazanzada guy, the guy you're talking about, he looked pretty good in that fight against.
He did. He looked way better than last night. It was 2 totally different fighters.
And I thought it was. My notes were he fought a pretty good guy in Contender Series. It was a bit of a battle, and then he ends up finishing him in round 3. It was a bad. But if Hazanzada sucks, then my analysis on that is just not accurate. He fought a can, and he struggled with the can.
Yeah.
That's my concern, because Evan Elder is not a can. Evan Elder, he may be a bit of an overachiever. He may be a guy who is on the cusp of being in and out of the UFC, but he's tough. He took a ass kicking on short notice. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was
gonna say Elder. So the guy that just beat Ahmad, I think his name was Streaker, Josh Streaker. He's kind of like Elder in a way, but I think Elder is better than that guy. So that's, to me, I'm just like, oh,
jeez. Okay. All right. So yeah. All right. So here's the short and sweet of it. I gathered from watching Nazim that he is the better overall fighter, and that Evan is the kind of guy where he's going to be the guy that's like, oh, he tries, he does a good job, he gets cut, he gets beat up, he stays in there but doesn't win the fight. He gets hit way too much. He got really cut up in that fight, by the way, when he fought that fight against, I forgot the guy's name, but he got cut up, like bad cuts, like under the eye, above the eye, like he was cut everywhere. So he's a bit of a bleeder. I think Nazim wins this fight. I think after the fight's over, we look at this fight into the same thing about the Felipe Lins fight, where it's like, wow, good value here, like minus 180, minus 170. So I do like Nazim Sadiqov, but your analysis, your information, Johnny's got me all, butthole tight.
I don't want to get everyone's butthole tights. I'm sorry, but Ahmad looked like trash, dude.
Don't be that guy, Johnny.
I'll say like one more thing. Like, there are certain guys with a lot of hype, right? And then they get their opportunity, and it's not quite what you imagine. They kind of fall short and they go back to the drawing board, right? And then there are other guys with hype around them for sometimes years, and then they get that opportunity and they do exactly what you thought they were going to do that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that describes Nazim for sure. Like, nobody was surprised he got a contract. Nobody was surprised that he's here. He's been training with these guys for a really long time. So that's why, like, I kind of look at it, like, when I look at the Elder side, it's like, did you already get your opportunity? Like, did you already miss that boat? Are you playing catch up now? And, speaking to what you said about the guy in LFA, it's like, these guys come up to contenders with so much hype, a lot of times undefeated. What happens when you don't perform? How do you recover from that? So it's like, it doesn't surprise me that some guys would struggle with that, especially like Elder, who was undefeated. But if you look at some of his opponents, one of these dudes he KO'd at a record of 3-20. You know what I mean? One of these other guys was on a 7-fight losing streak with like 6 knockouts. You know what I mean? So like his 7-0, I think, is very different than Nazim's undefeated record, or now 7-1 because of the last fight. So yeah, I think you guys are right. Like, we could look back at this and be like, wow, minus 175 is way too cheap,
Yeah. Yep. I don't put much stock into losing the press. Like, some people be like, he survived with Preston Parsons at up a weight class for 3 years. Preston Parsons ain't that good. Like, he's like the lowest of the low. He's like the bottom 5 in the welterweight division. So it's like, some decent 55ers could go up there and beat him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, for real.
The UFC is not trying to promote Preston Parsons, but in a way too, like, it's almost like the
what was short notice
fight in a way. It was very short notice.
Yeah.
Like, the size discrepancy, you can tell right off the bat.
Oh, it was huge.
Like, and then he was on top of him the whole freaking fight. He couldn't even get up once he was down. So
and another thing,
he's just not a welterweight. He just did it to get in the UFC. That's what I feel like. He got the call. He wanted to get in there. He knows he's going to have another fight or two to show his real self, and this is the first fight to do it. So. Like I said, not trying to worry, like,
I got Sadiqov.
I think it's gonna be close.
I think Sadiqov's the more dangerous fighter everywhere. I think Elder, he's not really a wrestler. He's like a kickboxer. I know a lot of people are worried about him going out and out wrestling Nazim, but like, from what I've seen, he's more of a kickboxer, striker. And then he can use different stuff. But let's see, what do we got here? Oh, okay. Yeah, Johnny, leave our buttholes out of this, bro. Every time, Johnny. Every time.
Sorry.
Saturday.
Just my gut feeling. I'm staying away from this fight, but I think Sadiqov wins. I'm with you guys. I am.
That's okay. We got 20 or 18 minutes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 fights, so we're gonna have to be really fast on this.
I'll go quick. These are 3 sloppy fights, so we can make this real quick.
Speed rounds. They are 30-second fight. Josh Parisian versus Jamal Pogues. I'm going to take this one. I've been going back and forth. I really don't care who wins. I think that Pogues. I don't know, dude. I'm going to take Pogues by some boring, weird decisions.
Love the analysis.
Yeah, man. I really couldn't. I picked Parisian. I've been going back and forth, but at the end, I'm just going to go with Pogues, and I'm going to say he does it by decision. And I thought he lost in the Contender Series, and if it's like that fight, it's going to be a close bum decision. Manny, who do you got?
Same here. I have Pogues winning the fight, but it's low level. Low level, baby. Bet with caution.
Yep. Johnny?
Yeah, I'm going to go Pogues, and I'm not touching this fight with any overs, unders, money lines, nothing. But I think he is just a little bit more well-rounded. Maybe he can get the wrestling game going because Parisian's takedown defense is awful. So give me Pogues by a boring decision.
Nice. Dr. Sarowitz, who you got?
Yeah, I'm staying away from this one too, but I actually kind of give a little bit of an edge to Parisian. I wasn't particularly impressed with Pogues, and Parisian's 2-2 in the UFC. He's been there, he's won before, so I think this is more of a coin flip. I think he's at like plus 215 right now, so I think there's a lot more value on the underdog side.
True.
I like it. And I actually picked him in my prediction video, but in the same thing, I'm like, I don't know. But the more experience, I mean, and if Pogues just fights with a jab and eats leg kicks, that's another thing really quick. In the Contender Series, he was getting messed up with leg kicks by a light heavyweight. And Parisian, that's one of the notes I wrote down is he throws powerful leg kicks. So that could be a thing. But I still like Pogues. But
He's got about a 1 round of gas, though, as well. That's the other thing.
Yep.
Maybe 1.5 rounds.
Let's see. I have to pick Josh Parisian. That's just because that Neanderthal has the exact hair and beard combo war person, right? Shrek. We got Pogues by decision. Josh via sub plus 1,300. Manny smoking that Aaron Blanchfield pack.
Does he even have a sub win?
Yeah, Parisian might have a sub win or some ground and pounds. Next fight's going to be debatable. We got William Knight versus Marcin Prachnio. I'll let Dr. Sarowitz start this one.
Ooh, I'm so curious. I want to hear what he's going to say about this now. This is going to be good.
Wait, which
sorry
one
if they're out of order. William Knight versus Marcin Prachnio.
Oh, yeah. This is another one I'm kind of back and forth on too. I wasn't particularly impressed with either of these guys, and honestly, like, I want to give an edge to William Knight actually, just based on Prachnio's last performance. It was sloppy. He gassed. I would love to have confidence in William Knight as well as that, but I think that's the deciding factor for me. I think this is going to be another sloppy one. And we might even get a finish from Knight. I think the KO prop pays pretty well. I think there's good value in that too.
I like that, especially if he gets on top. Johnny, what do you have, brother?
Yeah, give me Thick Willie here. I think he gets it done. I'm not a big fan of Marcin. I'll be honest. He's very good in the first 3-4 minutes in the first round, though. He's got good kicks, good power. Other than that, he just jumps off a cliff. His cardio's done. His chin is non-existent. He doesn't throw any strikes. He's very labored. Not to say William Knight's much better, but I think he has about 1.5 rounds of cardio, and he's durable. And he has that power, and I think he can get that chin in the first round, maybe like with 35 seconds left in the first round. He gets that knockout, I think. Not betting this fight, though. Too sloppy.
All right, Manny, what do you got?
Yeah, so Prachnio looks like the kind of guy who comes in there with already a concussion. Like he's already been knocked out before the fight already started. And, but then he gets hit a few times more and he keeps going. And you think the fight should stop, but then he keeps going. He ends up coming back and winning the fight, right? He's kind of a weird dude. William Knight, if it goes too long, he gasses out. But, man, he looked incredible in the weigh-ins. Like, he looked
he did look good.
A little scary.
He really did. He really did.
Remember, he kind of was getting body shamed last time because he missed weight and
like 12 pounds or something, right?
Well, actually, he missed weight by 12 pounds against Grisham and came in at 218. And then the next fight he fought Devin Clark, he weighed 251, and that was like 8 months ago. Fight.
Yeah, and it was a late notice thing there, and it was. I believe if I could be wrong, so I'm willing to be corrected here. But going way back, I'm going way back. He was a fat kid in high school, had some weight issues. Then became like like staying home, like eating ice cream late at night, being depressed, playing video games, like went through this whole moment in his life where weight was a big part of it, and then got into mixed martial arts as a way to get like into some kind of shape. And then he comes into UFC, gets contract, and then goes through this shit recently with the whole weight thing. He looked in fucking incredible on the scale. I have a feeling, just me, that like he had a moment, like a midlife crisis here with that whole being overweight thing as an athlete now, like sort of a reminder, like some kind of PTSD of what he went through in real life. Because he looked incredible. I think he knocks Marcin the fuck out. And I like William Knight here. And that's my breakdown.
I love it.
Before I
has a little chip on his shoulder now.
Yep. Before I seen William Knight in that kind of shape, and I'm still going to go with it. I'm taking Prachnio by decision or head kick KO. He's got a fast ass head kick, and William Knight likes to eat head kicks right off his face. William Knight's not really good. He's just explosive and powerful. Like he's going to hit you with that check left hook if you come in too quick, which he could definitely. If William Knight wins, it's a check left hook knockout. Catching Prachnio coming in, throwing a lazy leg kick or some shit like that. But I'm going to go with Prachnio just because he puts out more. He's a better fighter and he's a way better kickboxer and he puts out a lot more volume. And if he doesn't get knocked out, he should win this fight. But the thing is Thick Willie hits him with one big shot, it's going to be over. Prachnio was KO'd 3 times in the first round in a row. Or if Thick Willie gets on top of him, it's possibly over. I don't know if Thick Willie, because he doesn't use fight IQ. He doesn't use a game plan. Like, I'm going to come in here and straight wrestle you, or I'm going to do this. He kind of just goes where the fight goes. And if you try to take him down, he might reverse you and get on top. But I haven't seen him just straight up go press you against cage, shoot for takedown kind of stuff. But if he does get taken on, he explodes. But give me Marcin Prachnio by decision or head kick, but I'm not confident and I don't have any picks. And anybody that got on William Knight at plus money or real low minus money before you even knew what shape he is, good for you because he freaking looked phenomenal. So
you look good.
Next fight is in the men's light heavyweight division. We got Zach Pauga versus Jordan Wright. Manny, I'll let you start this one.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I know due to time constraints, we're trying to keep these moving along here. But, you know, Zach Pauga was on the Contender or Ultimate Fighter, last year. And I kind of watched that. I was one of the few people that actually watched the entire show last year. And nice guy, pretty talented. He made the finals against Kamaru Usman's brother. And he got starched with a very simple left hand, I think left or right hand, a simple punch, a punch that didn't look very hard. And he went lights out. Like, he was out for a few minutes. It did look terrible. Afterwards, you find out he was fighting up as a heavyweight. He actually is a normal light heavyweight. Because the show has you fighting like every 2 weeks, he's like, I can't make weight every 2 weeks. I can't live like that, you know? So he's like, I'll do the heavyweight thing. But it wasn't for him. He got knocked out. He lost. Okay. In the finals, though, mind you, he looked pretty good in prior fights. Like, pretty athletic, got good hands. But he's fighting against a guy in Jordan Wright where if I was fighting Jordan Wright, right, today, I was fighting him, I would just jog around the cage for the full 5 minutes, and then I'll see you in round 2, dude. I'll see your ass in round 2. So if Zach Pauga could just do some version of that, he's going to win the fight. Zach Pauga wins the fight into the distance because Jordan Wright Jordan Wright might throw a kick himself in the head, knock himself out. Zach Pauga win.
Possibility, Beverly Hills Ninja style, baby.
There it is.
Johnny, who do you got?
Yeah, I got to go Pauga here. I cannot trust Jordan Wright as far as I can throw him. He used to be a middleweight. Now he's up at light heavyweight again. I think he fought there once in the UFC and he beat Ike Villanueva, but that's Ike Villanueva. I think Pauga is better than that. He could take a better shot. I know that. And then all he needs to do, like Manny said, is just survive for 2 minutes. Maybe even go for some takedowns. I think he can get some takedowns early if Wright does go all out towards him, and well-timed takedown is all I need. So this fight's not going to round 3. That's one of my parlay pieces I got. I don't think Jordan Wright has never seen the 3rd round in his career, and I think it's going to happen again. I think this is going to end in the 1st round one way or another.
Okay. Dr. Sarowitz, who you got?
Yeah, I like Zach too. I got a little bit of a weird take on this one, so hear me out. You know, I think he definitely had a lot of hype coming through the Ultimate Fighter, coming off a pretty devastating knockout. You never know how somebody's going to come back, but I think this is a good bounce back for him, especially at his true weight class. He's a kind of guy, though. He's more of an athlete than a fighter to me. Much like a Forrest Griffin type, or just not someone you think of as a finisher, someone you think of as like a point fighter. So I think he has the ability to kind of slow this fight down, maybe by jogging around the cage. But I think if he can slow this to his pace, I think he can actually go pretty far into this fight. I definitely like Zach, but I'm really tempted with the over 1.5 here too, because I think that's his best path to victory, is actually slowing things down, maybe grappling a little bit, securing some rounds, and then maybe he does get a finish late in the second round or the third round. But I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't be shocked if he wins by decision here, because he's just not somebody I think of as a finisher. I think if he finishes him, it's going to be because Wright just exhausted himself, knocked himself out, something like that. But if the fight gets crazy, I wouldn't be shocked if Zach, takes him to the ground and holds him there. That's what I'm kind of expecting from this too. So I'm big on Zach in this one. I think he looks good here. And I think a real sneaky place to go over 1.5 and get some positive money too.
I like your play there over 1.5. I like it.
As long as it doesn't go to round 3, we're good.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you guys are saying, man, Pauga ain't really a finisher, but Jordan Wright and my boy Nav is in here. He just put, apparently Wright is dedicating this fight to his mom, who recently died. So he's going to come in and go bananas, and he's going to try to get this win.
Listen,
We've seen
that
that
is
Damon
like
Jackson.
the kiss of death. Like,
okay,
I always think that's
so
the
time out.
I
I take that as under a half round.
Yes, that's what. Yeah, one way or
another.
This fight is going to end in under a half a round.
And now I'm rooting for Jordan. If that's true, then I'm rooting for Jordan Wright. And my dude Nav, he don't lie. As long as Jordan Wright doesn't get touched by stiff breeze, he has a shot. I bet Charlie Ontiveros and Luke Rockhold. Don't do it. Don't do it. Jordan Wright will use his karate on an ancient art developed in 1987. The ACR repairman. Appreciate you coming out. All right, guys. Let's go into this main event, man. Jessica Andrade versus Blanchfield. I'm going to let Dr. Sarowitz start this off.
Oh, yeah. So I met Erin like right before her UFC debut. I'm pretty friendly with her manager, and that's how I got introduced. There was so much hype behind her coming into the debut, but she was like a little bit under the radar. And I think the Miranda Maverick fight was maybe her like coming out party a little bit, where people really started to take notice. It's like taking someone's strength and just completely dominating them. It's like, okay, let me show you what really high level wrestling is like. So I think the secret is out. I think the days of getting, Erin Blanchfield at, a good value are over, or aren't they? Because looking at the one today, I think a lot of money is going on Jessica Andrade, but I think it plays right into Erin's strength again, too. I think skill beats strength any day of the week. So I think if you're just trying to get these like muscle type takedowns, Andrade's just going to gas really quickly. Not to mention the fact that she's taking the fight on short notice. Another thing that I thought was interesting too is like she came in light to this fight too. So like I don't think she's carrying around a lot of extra muscle mass. I don't think she's as explosive in the wrestling department as she used to be. So I think Andrade's path to victory is that blitzing sort of stand-up style, but I think that plays right into Erin's strengths too. If she gets close enough, Erin is going to clinch her and she's going to get her down. I think Andrade might get up the first time. She might get up the second time, but Blanchfield just does not stop, and she could go that pace the whole fight. And when you think about Andrade too, she's in all these title fights and 5-round main events. She's only been past the third round once. We've never really seen her like get her gas tank pushed that much. And I think that the time she went the distance was against Jędrzejczyk, which is more of like a stand-up fight. So I think she's going to be really dangerous for about a half a round. I think as soon as the clinching and the grappling starts, she's going to fade really quickly. And I think, unfortunately for her, for some reason, Blanchfield just loves beating the piss out of these ladies. She doesn't like to go for an easy sub when she can. She like really likes to hurt people. And, she's got that cold-blooded nickname. She is a savage. And I think I picked her to win this fight before the opponent switched. I think she has the perfect style to beat Valentina Shevchenko too. I think Shevchenko got exposed in her last fight. So I'm gonna put it here first. Blanchfield's getting the win. I think she's getting the finish. I think she makes it look easy. And honestly, like, I wouldn't be shocked if Andrade doesn't touch her. Meaning, like, she runs across the cage trying to land some crazy shit instantly into a clinch and a takedown, and she does not get up for the rest of the fight. I would not be shocked at all if this is that one-sided.
I like it.
So that's my pick. Like, Blanchfield by straight up murder. And I think she's more likely to get the TKO than the submission here.
Love it. TKO. Blanchfield by TKO. Johnny, what do you got?
Ooh. Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I like Erin Blanchfield. I think she's very, very talented, but I think this is just a step up a little too soon, even on the short week or the 1 week short notice here. Andrade is a monster. Like, she's got very, 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 very good striking, and she loves to hurt ladies as well. As you saw in her last fight, she hurt that lady to the point where you didn't even know she was a lady or not. So she fought the better competition. She could be a contender in any division at the moment right now. Like, the only thing that it's a little red flag for me is that 1 week short notice. How is her gas kink going to handle, potential 5 rounds? But I haven't seen Andrade gas out in any fight, if you want to say. I mean, yeah, she got crucifixed by Valentina, but that's Valentina. Other than that, like, she's been pretty decent in any fight cardio wise. So I mean, maybe it's going to be a little bit less than normal, but I still think that's good enough in this fight. I mean, but if she gets taken down numerous times, that's when it's going to make an issue. Like, one time, I don't think it'll be bad, but multiple times maybe in the same round, that's maybe when the cardio will go, and then maybe Erin does win that fight. But on the feet, though, oh my, I got to have Andrade here all day. Like, and I think that's how it's going to happen. I think it's going to be like a second round knockout, because Blanchfield's striking defense just isn't there yet. And this is a different demon on the feet for the ladies division. Like, this is one of the better strikers with power. So give me Andrade here. I took the -120 money line, and I also have her in a parlay. So I'm sorry, doctor. I gotta go Andrade. But if Erin wins, good for her, and I will eat every word I just said. I will.
All right. I mean, because this is a fight. You're on one side or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have everybody on one side. So, like, because it's a style matchup, grappler versus striker, and people's going to be passionate like this striker is going to get it done, or people's going to be passionate this grappler is going to get it done. So who do you think, Manny? Who do you think gets it done?
We're at 4 o'clock, so we have like 30 seconds here for breakdowns. I'm going on Blanchfield. I like her to win the fight by submission. I think your best bet here for everyone is the -250. Fight does not go to decision. At some point, either Jessica Andrade gets a TKO or Blanchfield gets her submission. So -250 covers you both ways. I do like Blanchfield. We talked about the whispers of Andrade's, hand being injured and whatever else. She was paid 3 times, not 2 times, 3 times her normal rate to take this fight. So the whispers about her, why she took the fight in short notice, and if she wasn't ready, 3 times the amount.
Yeah,
she was paid
600K. They said 600K.
She's getting a bag to fight this fight. And that reminds me of a lot of prior fights like this where the person comes in with a bag, Bobby Green, just to go out there and lose against a prospect that they're actually looking forward to building up. I think Erin Blanchfield wins the fight.
But what about, that's what I was thinking till I thought Sean Strickland, how he just came off couch, threw a beating on Imavov, rode back to the mountains.
And Andrade arguably is more qualified than
she's
right?
She's like the same as it, like, because they're born fighters that are just and she's got the good cardio.
Well, she even has even more qualifications. She had the belt at one point. Like, she's got more accolades.
And I don't think she's in it for the money.
Savages.
I mean, the money is a good thing, but I don't think it's just strictly the money. She wants to get a belt.
She probably thinks, and if she wants to win this fight too,
I don't know.
It's going to be a good one. I'm on the Andrade side, but I bet the under 3.5 in this, because in my opinion, one of these girls are going to get their game going. Either Blanchfield ain't going to be able to get her wrestling going, and Andrade is going to take off on her because she doesn't have the greatest boxing or head movement you've seen against JJ Aldridge. She's got really good kicks. She was kicking Aldridge to the body, excellent kicks, but when she throws punches, they're kind of straight, but she doesn't move her head. So if she has to stand with Andrade for a round and a half, she's going to get finished. But if she starts taking the fight to the ground and Andrade on 1 week notice, it's just like Doctor said, man. As soon if she gets up 2-3 times and keeps getting mat returned, one of these times she's going to accept it, and then she's going to get put in a crucifix by a savage ass girl that doesn't run out of cardio and does. So that's why I'm like, man, I couldn't pick a side. I'm going to pick Andrade for a pick. No confidence. I just bet that under. I like the violence under 3.5. I'm get to the middle of the 4th round. One of these girls' style is going to work by the middle of the 4th round. They're both savages that go for the finish at all times. Like Doc said, Blanchfield to play with her food a little bit, but I don't think she's going to try to play with Andrade.
Sure.
So that's it, boys. We're going to let you guys say what you want to say about everything. Dr. Sarowitz, what you got to say? Where can people find you? All that good stuff, man.
Oh yeah. My Instagram's got everything on it at Dr. Sarowitz. I got links to my mouth guard brand, my apparel brand, all the other side projects I got going on too. Instagram's the place to find me. Yeah, thanks.
Yep, Johnny, what do you got, brother?
Yep. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, JohnnyKpicks, and breakdowns every Sunday or Monday. Hopefully, I know last time it was Tuesday, but there was a lot going on. And yeah, we do our live shows on Thursday night, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern, if you want to check us out if you're new. And we also do pregame today or fight companions every once in a while. So definitely check us out.
Yep. Manny, what you got, brother?
You know who the fuck I am. Manny GMA Fight Club. It's great to be here. Dr. Sarowitz joining us tonight. We're super, super grateful for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent show.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that was an excellent show, man. I appreciate you guys all coming on, and we're going to do it again. Like I said, we got a good community, and we're adding some people to it, man, that make these shows really fun, really informative. I think we always have one of the best shows on the internet on YouTube because it's professional. It's good. Everybody's got the good information.
Hanging out with the boys and girls.
Exactly. Hanging out with all the support. Having a good time, and there ain't no trolling here. There ain't no everything. We had a great time, man. Dr. Sarowitz, I appreciate you being on. Johnny, of course, we're going to do another show on Wednesday. Manny, we'll be back together. Everybody check out all these guys' stuff. Everybody, good luck today on all of your bets, man, and let's kill it, man. I will see you guys.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody. Let's kill it.